Dennis Emmanuel Brown, the crown prince of reggae music, right at the start of a new week, day number 27 in the month of March 2023. Good morning, Rich Nation. How are you all doing today? We get an opportunity of spending another 4 or so hours with you, and we're going to make it worth your while. Keep it locked. What you want is what you get, and what you get is more than you bargained for. My name is Richie B.
Yes, surely, DJ Arden.
Okay, then. I think we're entering a season where apologies are going to be necessary. Is there anything I need to apologize to you for, sir?
No.
No?
No, not yet.
Kevin?
Yeah.
We're good? Nothing? All right. Oh, yeah. Jody just stepped out, so I can't ask her. Mark has apologized.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Mark has apologized for comments he made about the labor rights. Yep.
Okay.
And I get the feeling, in all honesty, that we're going to see a spate of apologies going the rounds, especially in political circles. I could be wrong, but that is my own interpretation of what's likely to happen. Yeah, so he has apologized and says he might have, misspoken, sort of thing.
Right.
And he wants to take that back. So let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day in Parliament. Let's put it that way.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, you wonder if Mark has apologized, whether or not Nigel will apologize. Did Angela do anything to apologize or retract? I don't know.
Well,
we'll find out.
A week of apologies, eh?
Did you say weak apologies?
No.
Oh, okay.
A week.
Oh, just checking.
Well, this is the start of the week. Come on.
Right now, it's time for
WTF.
What the Fact?
All right, so this is a good one. This Caribbean woman became the first Calypsonian and eldest performer at the popular Coachella Festival. Linda MacArthur Monica Sandy Lewis. Oh, that.
Calypso Rose.
There you go. Thank you, Richie. Calypso Rose is regarded as the mother of Calypso, a household name amongst West Indians. She has composed over 1,000 songs and recorded over 20 albums. In 2019, Rose broke ground, becoming the first Calypsonian and eldest performer at the popular Coachella Festival. But Rose is more than just an artist. Her music frequently addresses social issues like domestic violence, sexism, and racism. Big up, Calypso Rose.
Yeah, get them on.
Time for updates. So, Shelz, a little of what we were talking about.
Yeah, man,
at least my voice went out on here when I said work it out backstage.
Yeah.
Listeners must be wondering, what am I talking about? We can tell them.
Yeah, and that one, when we say work out behind the scenes, it's not because we're talking about a big actor, but I think it fits. So for those who love the movie Creed, and love the movie Harder They Fall, for example, Jonathan Majors found himself in a bit of a tough spot recently as he was arrested for allegedly, assaulting his girlfriend. Yeah, man, physical assault. Yeah, Jonathan, how could he add that? Hey. But the drama gets a little bit more interesting as Priya Chaudhry, who's Major's lawyer, confirmed that the woman in question has recanted her statement about being physically assaulted. Further, Chaudhry says that there's video evidence which will prove that Majors is innocent. The same person who filed the complaint. I'm just saying. The woman who originally says she was assaulted by Major says she was having an emotional crisis, for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. Now, Jonathan Majors, as I said, was arrested this weekend for an alleged assault on a woman, and the 33-year-old actor was taken into custody on Saturday morning in New York City after an unidentified woman told the police Majors had physically attacked her during a domestic dispute. Now, insiders told news sources that the accuser had visible injuries throughout her body, redness and marks on her face, as well as a cut behind an ear. She was reportedly transferred to the hospital and is said to be in stable condition. So,
well, not a good look, but he's obviously out of that spot of bother. We were wondering whether or not it's a case of money talk and
No, just saying that speaking of money talk, you know, Richie, I mean, a lot of persons from the, you know it going to Jojo, black man get another problem, you know, a lot of endorsements that drop same time. I heard that an army commercial he did, they were pulling that commercial and stuff, so they were saying that, hey, you know, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but it's just interesting how the same woman who had the proof of the bruises and stuff say, yo, look.
All of a sudden, she changed her story.
Yeah.
So there are some who would be out there thinking the money talk line, but the truth is, the fact that she has taken that approach.
Yeah, she said she has evidence that he's innocent. So
yeah, it now relieves him of a great deal of some of the problems that could be ahead. Although the problems really started with some cancellations.
Yeah, the damage is already done.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, let's see how that progresses from here on, and he obviously would no doubt learn from the mistakes that he might have made in that situation.
Yeah.
All right, Minister Marion Hall, of course, by now you all know, has been booked for Reggae Sumfest, and Scatter, nobody's happier than Scatter. He says publicly, my prayers have been answered. Unleashing the powerhouse Minister Marion Hall at Reggae Sumfest July 22. And Scatter, who is a self-proclaimed atheist, wrote on his Instagram page recently where he shared a copy of the flyer which features Marion Hall, Minister Marion Hall, in a black outfit, including a bustier with her bosom pronounced and embellished with sheer lace fabric, which partially shows off her abs. And that is creating quite a stir on social media. Many people feeling that she looks more like the queen of the dance hall as she was, as Lady Saw, than as Minister Marion Hall, as she would have us believe. So that has been causing a great deal of getting a lot of attention, most of it negative attention.
Of course.
There she is on the screen. All of her tummy is exposed, and her breasts are covered, and she has matching pants and all of that. The coat looks quite expensive. And everything like that. Jewelry adornment is there. You saw that, right?
No, Sam, yeah, look fun.
Yeah.
Like, no, Richie, I've never had an event of this magnitude before, Richie. But you can explain. Is this a tactic from the promoters for just kind of like draw the attention? And another question is,
it wouldn't. First question answered. It wouldn't have been only their tactic, and she would have had to sign off.
Oh, that was going to be my follow-up question. If the minister had something to do with it as well. So that's interesting.
I would think that she has everything to do with that look, and has to take either the credit or the blame. Frankly speaking.
Yeah, the promoters would not have that.
Even if they came to some kind of consensus, because I did mention here that she's doing a number of songs for the same promoters, Down Sound Records. So even if they would have made some suggestions, she would have had to have signed off on it. You know what I mean? So whatever comes with it, Marion Hall will have to live with that. But obviously it's getting some degree of attention, and maybe that is what they want. Just like Spice, who came out recently with a photograph of what looked like a pregnancy. Turns out it was not a pregnancy, but she was making the point, she says, that it's her rebirth. She was in Grand Cayman on the weekend, and I saw the clips of her performance. She was doing all of the usual stuff, twerking, doing the high
the 6 o'clock.
And doing the 6:32. Yeah, she was specializing in the 6.
Yeah, because
the 6s. She looked beautiful. A much slimmer Spice, quite active, and the kind of love that she got from the audience must be what she would have wanted to propel her going forward. She got a lot of it. Invited ladies to join her on stage, and she was having a ball, obviously. And she also said thanks at the end of it all to the wonderful people over there in Grand Cayman who welcomed her. She has other dates coming up, I think, in New York City, in Bermuda, and a few other places. And we'll see what happens. But one of the things I want to include in our conversation, Lady Saw comes out with a gospel song. Bam! Spice comes out with a gospel song. And, like, what do we read into that? She alone now running with a gospel song, man.
Both of them are giving thanks in their own ways, and they've all contributed that to the Almighty. So
of course,
of course.
Yep.
That's why I go leave it, you know.
You're not even saying it tongue in cheek.
We can all give God
believe that.
Yeah.
All right, we wish them well.
Yeah.
No word as to whether or not Spice will be booked for Reggae Sumfest as yet. I suspect she will. And that in itself, if and when that is announced, is going to cause quite a bit of get quite a bit of attention as well.
Of course.
Yeah. So what's it going to be? Former queen and current queen of dancehall? Wow. Joe Bogdanovich, you're onto something, son. It's 22 now before the hour of 7 o'clock. That was
update.
Yeah. All right. This morning, inside of the proverb of the day, we're going to hear our proverb right now.
Make one jackass bray.
That's it. Okay.
Make one jackass bray.
All right. We're going to do a little role play to make the point. Oddly,
no way.
Each of us will do a role play like we're braying like a jackass.
But
just for 10 seconds. So we're making a point, right? So after 3, each of us are going to bray like a jackass. Remember the proverb said, make one jackass bray. You ready?
No.
1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Them said them never ready, you know.
We're never ready.
So you the other jackasses are silent. All right. The meaning of the proverb: it is difficult to see the merit in other person's ideas if everybody attempts to speak or bray at the same time.
I get it. Okay. Oh.
Listen.
I've never read the meaning of the proverb yet. That's the problem with it.
Well, I will never get the memo.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, the man them not trust me, you know. One man looked for me and said, No, me not ready. Suya says I set up. All right, that's the proverb of the day.
Oh boy,
that's a classic moment I'll remember for a long time. All right, 12 now before the hour of 7 o'clock. Reminding you that coming up at 7, Mr. Keith Wellington, the president of the Intersecondary School Sports Association, ISSA, will be joining us for a chat about Boys and Girls Champs 2023. And right now we're going on to our pet peeve of the morning.
That's right.
And you got it, Shelz?
Yeah, man.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, Bridge Nation. So they don't say, pet peeves are things that people do. You see me? That you find annoying, irritating, and even sometimes upsetting. You know the thing, God. My pet peeve this morning. But none of it's still going because it's been a minute. But, you know, when you take the taxi them. You see me? Or even a coaster. And you go say, you have faith in the driver or the conductor. And you go say, you look on him in the eyes and you say, you ready, driver? And the man say, yeah, man, one already. And you go so boop, so you go sit down in the car now, Richie, and you on Bridge 99 FM alone in there. Yeah, man. Nobody in a taxi. 15
minutes, 20 minutes.
But yeah, man. And you know the worst part? When you have the audacity to say, come out and go in our next taxi. It's kind of like a hostage situation. You can't left.
Oh, yes.
I look by you and say, nah, man, I was so ready, man. Just told me I look, man. You know the thing, go. And you're there for half hour when you could have gone in like 10 minutes.
Sure, no.
Yeah, man. It's rough. It's rough. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if it's still happening. I hope not.
If him don't put on the automatic lock on the door, though.
No, you can cut, man. More
step out and left that.
But you know, I realize me just never have no sense back then because you have to read between the lines in a Bridge Nation. Because here we go on, them say, 1 already, 2 and drive. So pre that, him never say, I got drive. He say him need 2 before him drive.
Yep.
So technically, I can't really blame the operator. You see what I mean? So yeah, that's a pet peeve when the doctors or taxi drivers lie to me when it comes to, so them ready when them not ready for drive off. Yeah.
All right.
It's rough.
Okay. Thankfully you don't have reason to have those issues.
No, we give thanks. But I'm hope I'm have to speak for the people.
Yeah,
because I don't know if it's still happening.
Yeah, man, it just might be. All right, we're going to be talking athletics, though, and in fact, it's that season. It starts tomorrow, March 28th to April 1, the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships. And we're talking about over in fact, lots and lots of students are participating. 88 teams on the boys' side and 91 teams on the girls' side will be participating over this 5-day spectacle that we all are waiting to enjoy with bated breath. Well, there is the big man, of course. He's the president of the Intersecondary Schools Sports Association, ISSA, who's our guest at this time to give us all the details about Boys and Girls Champs 2023. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Keith Wellington. How are you doing today, Keith?
Hi, Richie. Good morning. I'm good, and are you?
Not too bad at all. Shelz is here with me as well.
Greetings, sir. Greetings.
Good morning. One second.
All right, Mr. Wellington, sir, how are we looking? What is the state of preparedness? Are we looking forward to a great championships? What can you tell us this morning?
Well, we're certainly looking forward towards a great championships. I think we are almost there in terms of our preparation. As you can imagine, with events like these, you are never 100% ready. And until you have gotten the execution totally out of the way, you have to be on your P's and Q's and making sure that all your bases are covered. Mm-hmm. But I think we are happy with where we are with our preparation. And
it's just just a day to go.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
just about maybe 14 hours.
Yes.
Well, 26 hours rather.
A little over a day, yeah, man. So 88 teams of boys, 91 girls. Is that the sort of like the usual number, or is it a little increased this year?
No, it's close. It's close. Maybe a shade under what we have peaked at. I think we normally get to around 100, 102 or so boys, 105 girls. Mm-hmm. So we still have a few teams, a few schools who are not yet fully back. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a good number.
There seems to be talk that a few things are changing this year as it relates to the championships. What changes come to mind?
In terms of structural change, in terms of how we are organized, nothing really significant has changed over last year, because we had some changes in 2021 when we came back to some level of participation during COVID. But there are changes that are significant in terms of where we were in 2019, which was the last time we had a really full-fledged champs. And I think the most significant one, and the one that everybody seems to be talking about, is the schedule, where we have moved the 100 meters from Friday, the finals from Friday, to having the finals on Wednesday. So all the 100 meter runners will participate tomorrow, and then we have the semifinals and finals on Wednesday. Wow. This is keeping with international best practice, and we are hoping that persons recognize that change and come out in full support of the sprinters on Wednesday. I think many persons are a little bit taken aback because they are accustomed to coming out Friday evening after work to see the fastest youngsters in the country participate. But I think this is in the best interest of our athletes, because they get to compete with, most 100 meter runners also compete in the 200. Mm-hmm. So the previous schedule had them participating in both events simultaneously, and sometimes they got injured in one and couldn't participate in the other. What we have done is to make that change to facilitate them participating in their pet event before having to take on the other events, including the relays and the 200 meters.
Understood. Now, Mr. Wellington, as we expect, say Champs Loud, sir, it's not a normal event, and of course that gains some attraction internationally, regionally and internationally. And so we've seen a great number of student athletes from other countries, representing our schools. As it relates to this year's staging, has it been a smooth process as it relates to the registration of these student athletes?
Yes, man, because remember, most of these kids would have been in school before now. Mm-hmm. The greater majority of them would have been in school at least 2 years. We have not had many or any issues really with their registration, because I think the schools are aware of the rules regarding who can participate and at what stage they are allowed to if they are coming in from abroad. So we have not had any issues.
Okay. Talking about students coming in from abroad, though, I think I saw a report recently where some were contending that the playing field is not like 100% level as it relates to their participation. What can you tell us about that?
I don't know if the report you saw was an interview I did with another media house, but I think it's not fair to say that it is not level. We have rules that govern students, and usually the differentiation we make is between those who are transferring from a school that is a member school and participating for that school, as opposed to those who are coming from another school that is not an ISSA member school and never participated in our competition. Those could be foreigners or it could be local students coming from a school that is not an ISSA member school. So there's no real differentiation to say these are foreigners or these are locals. As a country, as schools, many of our schools have people who are from different nationalities and they are not necessarily all participating in sports. So we can't just write a rule to say that if you're a foreigner, you can't participate. So I don't think it's really true to say that it's not level.
So it's really that's like a non-issue then?
Well, I think that you have to be concerned when you see a particular trend that is not keeping with the norm. And so we continue to monitor what the trend is as it regards to these foreigners. We know that in the smaller Caribbean islands, Richie, the opportunities for tertiary education post-fifth form is not as much as it is in Jamaica. What we find is that these, especially from the smaller islands, the kids, when they are finished with fifth form, they want to come here to get an opportunity to do sixth form and eventually get into college and via scholarship, or to stay here and train with our clubs. And I think that from an ISSA perspective, we are happy to contribute to the process of the development of our fellow Caribbean islands. So, but we will monitor to make sure that the eventuality of it becoming a hindrance to our own development does not occur.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Wellington, what kind of turnout are you anticipating for this year's championships? And do you believe that, people out, still out there, excited when it comes to champs?
I think so. At this stage, we are totally sold out on Saturday grandstand tickets.
Wow.
Friday, we are, I think, on last Friday when we checked the Friday tickets, as the tickets for this Friday grandstand, we were over 65% sold out. And usually for champs, it's usually Friday and Saturday that are the big days. We don't normally have a big turnout for the rest of the week, but we expect that to change this week. We have tickets available online, so persons don't have to come to the stadium to get a ticket. They can actually go online and purchase their tickets at tickets.issasports.com. And so that has made it easier for persons to make a last-minute decision that they want to turn up at the stadium. And I think that is helping in terms of what we expect for a turnout. And we really have to remember that this is the first time since 2019 now where there are limited restrictions on how many persons can be in the stadium. So I get the vibes that things are going to be really, really hot in the stadium.
I think so too. Are you expecting a lot of records to be broken?
I have not been paying that close of attention to the times, but there are a few really outstanding things that we are seeing happening. And so I would not be surprised if we see quite a few records. It has become almost the norm over the last 5 years or so to see students really turn up at the stadium and outdo themselves. So I would not be surprised if we see a few records going.
And if they do, everything is in place for full and proper ratification of those times and so on, eh?
Yes, definitely.
Mr. Wellington, there's a school that I'm going to tell you from now to look out for.
That they are doing well. They are doing well. They are growing, and I'm sure they have your support. I'll tell Mr. Thompson that Richie B says that he has something for Titchfield.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wellington. Thank you. Thank you so much. All the best, and we appreciate all that you're doing, and we hope that this will be the greatest championships ever. Take care.
Okay, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. I didn't even have to say it.
Hey, you think load the road, man.
I tell you. I don't know, KC, we didn't even get
You had a conversation before, right?
No. I haven't spoken to Mr. Wellington since maybe last year this time. So, that just spur of the moment. Yeah. Big ups to the Titchfield students who will be participating. Big ups to KC.
Of course, yeah.
Big ups to JC.
Yeah,
big ups to C-Bar.
Yeah, man,
big ups to Edwin.
Diego, Heidel.
Everybody along a Rossi's and them place there.
Oh gosh, man. Stets. Look out for Stets sprinters there.
Man. Trust me.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Yeah, all right. Big ups to all the athletes, all the coaches, and all of their fans who will be going out and supporting them. Big ups, and more big ups. Good luck. And we're pretty much ready now to join Robo Ranks. He's inside of the studios of the Beat London 103.6 FM, whilst we're here in the studios of the Bridge 99 FM in Jamaica. It's now the UK connection, and we say good day, Robo Ranks.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, team. Good day, indeed. It is a very good day. Sun is out, Richard.
Oh, that's great.
Not too far away from you. Weather's pretty cold because you can see I've got the sweater on, but the sun is out. It looks like, but it's not. It's England. Good morning.
Well. I thought it felt like, because of course you're on your shirt. I'm seeing yard. So we talked to a yard man. Yeah. We thought that the weather was also complimenting that endorsement.
No. You see, I've got a notepad. I've got a notepad here ready to work with nothing on it, but I've got plenty tea. So plenty warm tea. So it's apart from the only thing that's changed so far here, not our attitude, is the time. The time zone has moved. So it's currently 1:45 or 1:48 here in the UK.
Oh, it's Minster too.
48, yeah. So we're into summer daytime saving time, whatever you want to call it. Daytime time. We're in that time where the clock just moves forward for no apparent reason. I understand it's for shouts to all the farming community. It's for the British farmers, so they can have more time in the field picking nothing, because they don't have any overseas workers. So I don't know why. I don't know why.
But they're being paid. So
if you can find one, if you can find an Albanian or a Polish, no. Well, that's apparently the reason why, and it's carried on since the Second World War, like moving the clock forward and back and forward and back. But I don't know. I don't know if it helps. I know in Jamaica your time has stayed the same, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not the same in Lebanon, though. The Prime Minister, the government in Lebanon decided that they're going to change back. Delay the change because of Ramadan, their celebration. Ramadan,
yeah. Okay.
Right? And then some television stations and media houses and so on are saying, hey, we ain't doing that. We are changing. So there was a big mix of persons who had meetings, two different times for the same meeting. All kinds of stuff was going on off the past weekend.
I understand that there were some resistance to changing the times. It's been happening lately. I'm pretty sure people are pretty happy with whatever time it is, as long as money are coming time. But I mean, just keep the time as it is.
I pray for consistency in that. Believe me.
Yeah. So we're all over the place time-wise. So, but we're here, Jamaica morning as usual. Nothing really to report from the UK, apart from if you want me to talk sports. There was none. There was England football, and we don't support England. Well, I don't, Richie, so I couldn't care less. But I did see our boy Ivan Toney take the field after 81 minutes, and there was lots of conversation that he would never play for England because of his betting, little betting. He did a little bit of betting, but it's not been.
Robo, it's not that cold. Why are you frozen? We'll get that reconnect soon. I wonder if Robert would know more about Mbappe and the French team, and the fact that Mbappe is doing so very well.
Yeah, I think
especially now that he's captain. Maybe Robert would know more about them than about the English team. Robert, you there?
Yes, I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what goes on in France because one day France is very, especially with the football, as you've known over the years, it's been very volatile. There's a lot of players in that French team that he doesn't get on with. Well, there's actually one, Rabiot, and their mothers clashed during the World Cup. Like the moms took out their handbags and were clashing, like your son is this and your son is that. I don't know if that still carries on, but I mean, who better to carry the captain armband for France? Speaking of football, how did Jamaica? What happened there, bro? Number 21.
We got the ascendancy twice, and we sort of gave it up. We were leading 1-0, and then they equalized, and then through an own goal from them, we were leading 2-0, and they were allowed to score. So it's unfortunate. but it's not that bad a result against Mexico at the Azteca.
I saw the I had the notification. I saw obviously Jamaica went 1 goal ahead. Bobby Cordova-Reid, cracking goal, brilliant player, very underrated in the Premier League. He's done so well moving from Bristol City to where he is now, playing for Fulham. Saw the goal and I thought, this is the turn. New shirt, new everything. I might even buy myself one. And then, couple hours late, an hour later, I see that it was 2-2. I was pretty deflated about that. Wasn't happy about that. I nearly got to the shop to buy my Jamaica shirt. Cause I'm kind of wag on the shirts.
maybe you should try to buy a West Indies cricket team shirt because they are doing fairly well against South Africa. 1-1 in the T20s. So maybe you'll consider giving that support to the West Indies cricket team. They need that.
As my brother would say, do they still play cricket?
Yes, they do. And I can say this boastfully because yesterday, although they lost yesterday to South Africa, they scored their highest T20 score ever. I remember the Chris Gales and all these big cricketers that were not on the field, all right? So we still have to big them up, you know what I mean? It's been very inconsistent with the cricket. I don't know where to go with the cricket because one day you feel like this team is going to take the world on when you see them playing T20 and then all of a sudden you have to ask the question, them still up playing cricket? it's crazy. But anyway, enough about all those disappointing results. What about all the good results, man? I saw that dancehaller Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee's out from prison. Yeah.
What's the news on that, Richie? Because I see it, but
he came out. He came out and did a couple of.
He was in for 3 years in total,
like
but
over 800 days in prison.
But he got on good behavior.
Yeah.
Early
release.
2 years in and he's out.
And already causing some degree of controversy because he was pictured. Pana ends with a whole heap of brethren. I mean, I can't understand it. He means he's been away for close to 3 years or thereabouts. And he comes out and he gathers up a few of his friends, maybe about 24 or so. And they're all drinking. He had some, booze in his hand and so on. And people are saying...
Not diesel.
No. Real stuff. And people are already criticizing him for just being there hanging out with his friends.
This is why he asks for privacy because he wants to reconnect.
It was a touching moment though to see him embracing his children, who he surprised on appearing where they were. And I think you saw where he went to a river and took a dip and all that kind of stuff. So he's back out. I'm gonna allow you to play some music though, because I want to talk on the other side of that about Ninja Man and this letter that he sent out from prison. Yeah. Okay. So after you get some music in, we'll get to that. All right, so we're at that point, Shelz. We had intimated earlier that we would be having 2 guests in the studios at this time, and they're here. Just to tell you, by way of information, the School of Drama grew out of the work of the Little Theatre Movement, the LTM. Now, my information is that in 1969, the LTM set up a part-time evening school, then called the Theatre School. Okay?
Got it.
You want to hear some more?
Yeah, man.
And that was to teach basic theatre skills. Well, today, the School of Drama at Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts offers programs geared towards the undergraduate training of theatre artists in areas including acting, theatre making, and drama in education, as well as rudimentary training in stage management and other aspects of technical production. I didn't know that they covered such a wide range of topics. Well, this morning we have with us Camille Quamina, if I get that pronunciation correct. If I don't, she'll correct me. And also, she's a senior lecturer at the School of Drama, Edna Manley College. And we have with us as well Mr. Marvin George, who is the Dean of the School of Drama. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
All right. How did I do with the pronunciation of your surname?
Quamina.
Oh, Quamina. All right. Thanks for that correction. Now, welcome to both of you. There's a lot of excitement going on in terms of your is it preparation for Macbeth? That is a project that's coming up soon?
Yeah, it's the school usually has drama productions, plays that we put on as part of the assessment for students. We had one earlier children's production called Jam Rats, and right now we're doing Shakespeare's Macbeth as the second production for the semester, and we opened actually this week, last weekend, Friday. Yeah.
Okay. How was the opening, by the way?
It was good. Everybody's excited. The young people they like the work. We had good reception from the audience members who attended. We did a lot of work trying to adapt the play, not really interfering with the language, but contextualizing it for a Caribbean audience, a Jamaican audience, and putting out those themes that will be very relevant for us today in as part of Caribbean and Jamaican societies.
How long do you intend for it to be running?
It's going to run for one more weekend. Every project that we do with our students, we do 2 weekends of a 2-weekend run, right?
Yes.
So they get 6 shows, and there's the nature of theatre to grow into the performance as well, to better your last night's performance. So we try to give them a kind of feel of what that is, right? So this weekend is going to be the second weekend. That is from on March 31st, Friday, March 31st, and then April 1st and 2nd. Right?
Okay.
And that's
any particular reason why Macbeth was chosen?
I like witches. and you know,
Okay. What's an answer?
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Marvin.
No, I was going to say that your fascination with the performance of the witches is one thing, but we were also and we were also excited about 2 other things. One is the possibility of providing our students with access to European classics as well as Caribbean classics.
Okay.
So they get a full diet of theatre and particular kinds of work, but also that when we do a Euro classic, that it has to have a particular register, meaning and value for our people in our now.
Wow.
Right? And that's that's where we go with the work.
Very important point. Yeah.
Now, Mr. George, I heard Miss Quamina mentioning that students are part of the production. Is this a part of the curriculum? Or?
Yeah, man, it is.
Oh, so they get graded.
Yeah, man. The work on production. Production is central to all the work that we do at the school because in very many ways a production is is like a microcosm of an industry, let's say, right? Classroom and studio work is classroom and studio work, which has its own culminating examination. But a production brings together all kinds of energies, right? Actors, lighting people, sound people, etc. It's a real show, and so it's a real way to measure the growth and development of the young people, and it doesn't matter which degree pathway you're on, meaning if you are the drama and education person who's training to be a drama teacher or the theatre person who's training to be an actor, it still matters that we give everybody that kind of grounding in what it means to be involved in a production. That's critical.
I love that.
How do you feel about this crop of students that you're working with? Are they looking good for our society going forward?
I think so.
Yes.
They've demonstrated a lot of dedication and commitment, a lot of maturity. They kind of grounded themselves in the project. I mean, every time you think about doing a Shakespearean work in our context, the first challenge that you have to face, of course, is the language and getting over that barrier. It's Old English, so we've managed to get them comfortable and speaking in their nation tongue. Well, not interfering with the script, but speaking in their nation tongue when they use the language as well. And then for a particular group of students that I teach post-colonial performance, and every year we kind of take on a cultural form from a country. And this year we decided to do Mokojambi, which is stilt walking. So the witches are on stilts and performing on stilts, and one other character, I think. So they kind of got excited by, first of all, mastering the art of stilt walking, and then embodying the characters and making it come alive on stage as performers, and if you ask me, they look like they've been walking stilts for years. Yeah. So it's that kind of excitement around the process. I think they're doing a fantastic job of it.
Okay, so Ms. Quamina, this is not the typical Macbeth then. This is there's a spin to it because you mentioned still walking and talking in native dialect.
Typical. We don't do anything typical.
Nothing typical.
No, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what we've managed to do is bring it into our context. Use our cultural forms, use our languages. A lot of dancehall in the play. I mean, the play is really a thesis on violence, ambition, a kind of blind kind of getting ahead, which I think is something that we as Caribbean people have to face and have to also understand. You know, where does that those tendencies or those things that kind of form part of our problem in the Caribbean, the violence, and so. In using it, in selecting the play, we thought that we would have them confront some of those issues that they face in their communities, that we face as Caribbean people in societies, linking that violence back to historical violence, because it's not about a group of people that are just bad. We've come out of a very violent and traumatic history. So how does the play really get us to really analyze our entire experience as Caribbean people, or our entire experience as I would just frankly say it, Black people in the New World, and that is what the play, and that is what our version of the play is trying to talk about.
And still without interfering with Shakespeare's
of course,
right? The language is Shakespeare's thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But them bodies and the rest of the vocabulary of that play is all us, all of us is ours.
So we get a chance to see what life is like in the inner cities, but do we also get a chance to see what the politics is like in the inner cities?
Yeah.
There's a glimpse of that too.
Yeah,
there's a glimpse of that too. Yeah, man.
Listen, we don't make it a inner city problem. We make it a human problem, a community problem. I don't know if I agree with the word society. I think we have communities, and all of us, and all of these communities are plagued by some level of violence and some level of callousness when you deal with and interact with people. So we kind of make that relationship very clear, the relationship between power, politics, and just people in general.
Wow.
How many students actually perform throughout the entire production?
There's 16 students on stage. 16 on stage, right? In different roles. And then of course a whole heap of people backstage.
16 more working lights, sound, front of house, stage management, costume design. We actually had some young people who were interning at the school construct some of the costuming for the witches. And it was a very rewarding experience for them. They interned with us and they kind of helped out. And now I think we've managed to bamboozle at least 15 students to come to the School of Drama next application period.
All right. That's some degree of success.
They really had a good time.
All right. I'm glad to hear that. I want to commend them. I haven't seen the play obviously as yet, but I'd love to. Maybe it's a good time for you to invite the public. Where is it being played, and what's the cost to get in, and so on?
All right. So Shakespeare's Macbeth is on at the Amphitheatre, the School of Drama at Edna Manley College. You're calling us at, you're WhatsApping us, WhatsApp us at 503-5941. That's 1-876-503-5941. Or send an email at schoolofdrama at emc.edu.jm, and you can make your bookings there. And then of course you can pay at the door, right? Just make the booking. I want to make a shameless plug.
Go ahead.
Right? We have to big up some people who really helped us out with this project. Meaning outside of the college, which is part of the college work.
Right.
But the people at
the bridge.
At the bridge. Big up the bridge. Big up the whole bridge.
Ingratitude is worse than witchcraft.
I couldn't avoid that.
Big up the whole bridge. Big up as well some people at General Foods, June Wong at General Foods for supporting the work, and some people at LPSR who have also assisted in getting us ready. We have to say thank you. For the people outside of the immediate context that help us to grow the work with the students.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Nationality?
Oh, we're Trinis.
Oh, you're both Trinis. All right. It's fair. So we were here during Carnival?
Yeah, I went home for Carnival.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Nicki Minaj went back home.
Yeah. Nikki was there, yes.
I see also Michelle is coming to Jamaica soon. And
yes, I see Michelle reach.
Yeah. They're on the same show.
Do you think that Hard Fit was the deserving winner of the Road March Song of the Year?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going no small fete. I'm not taking no apologies. Right. I don't have any problems. What? Bungie.
Yes.
Bungie. Well, this going.
Yeah.
I love Marshall too.
But Bungie's the winner. Bungie
Bungie
respect to nobody.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah, man. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Without question. That's
Two great artists.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Among many others.
Yeah.
Commendations on what you do with that product.
Yeah.
And all the best with this product that we spoke so much about this morning.
Thank you so much.
May it go very well. Thank you all.
All right.
Man, give time.
All right, so this time the beautiful voice and talent and a lady that I've not seen in a long time and I'm very happy to see today is here with us. We're talking about none other than J.C. Lodge in the building here with us. Good morning, J.C.
Good morning.
That voice.
Happy to be here.
Yes. How have you been? It's been a long time, J.C.
I know, too long.
Too long.
I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah, man.
For a short while. We're leaving on Saturday.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
boy.
it's a business trip, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi to Errol, who's across the glass. Hi, Errol. Long time, bro. Big up yourself. JC, you've been in the business now for quite a while.
42 years? 42 years.
JC, you do not look 42, so you could not.
Yo.
No.
Yo.
Would you believe that?
No, I thought you were going to say like 14 or 4. You know.
Roy, are you seeing her on the screen?
Listen, they ever saying that black don't crack, man.
Thanks to Dad for that.
Indeed,
Amen,
indeed.
amen.
You definitely have a lot to celebrate. Some big successes back in the day. Some monster hits, which we all love. Of course, songs like "Someone Loves You, Honey." Which year was that?
1980.
That was 1980.
Yeah.
And that became an anthem all around the world.
It did, yeah.
You were obviously a young lady when you recorded that song. Just for the benefit of the younger members of the audience, how did that come about, actually?
Well, it's because of Errol, who you mentioned a while ago.
Right.
You know, I'd met him. I was still, let me see. No, I'd left high school and just started my first job, And then, you know, Errol was on the scene and Errol was into writing. And he said, I've written some songs. And I thought, that's interesting. And he said, can you help me put them on a cassette?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay. And, you know, then he tried to sing them to me. And I was like, wait, hang on. Do you mean this note or that? Because the singing wasn't so clear.
Okay.
Anyway, so through trial and error, we managed to get it together and put these songs on a cassette. And the cassette went from hand to hand, ear to ear, till after many months it ended up at Joe Gibbs' studio. And then E.T., who was Joe Gibbs' engineer
at the time,
and kind of like a right-hand man, took the cassette from us, and then we were visiting that studio week after week after week. Come back next week. No, run out of time next week. And that went on for a few months till eventually he came out to us one day and said, who sing on the cassette? And I said, well, that's me. And he said, all right, we want to do something with you. Not that it wasn't those songs that Errol wrote initially, but they went on the first album. So the first song he brought to me was actually "Do That to Me One More Time" by Captain and Tennille, and I recorded that very scared. I remember being, and that was only released in the Bahamas. So I think it was like a test for me. And then he came back and said, "Yeah, like you passed the test. All right, we have a next tune for you." And that was "Someone Loves You, Honey," which was already popular by Charlie Pride.
Yes.
So yeah.
Initially, when the suggestion was made to you, were you like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it," or I'm going to think about it?
I went for it because I was quite an obedient person. And, whatever I was told, I would kind of do.
At that stage,
within reason. But we were really more interested in our original material, and it wasn't for me to sing. We were just trying to push the songs for other people to sing because I had no intention of being an artist or anything. I just was the voice to convey the songs, So that was quite a surprise that they were asking me to sing.
Yeah.
So, but then
it became a monster hit, worldwide hit for you as well.
It was such a
bigger. I don't know, bigger than the original. I think. Would you say?
I'm not sure about
that, but very, very huge.
Yeah.
And would have taken you many, many places and opened up a lot of doors as well.
Yes, it did.
Were you able then eventually to record some of those original songs that Errol had?
Yes.
Done?
So the album was called "Someone Loves You, Honey" after the single, and then we got, I think it was 3 of his songs were put on the album.
Great.
But we had to fight for it because in those days, I think the producers weren't interested so much in original material, especially for a woman to do.
Mm-hmm.
They always thought, no, it's a songbird, you just sing a nice song over.
Yeah.
You know, that's where they had more confidence in you singing something that was already a hit. So that's, and it's been a struggle all the way along, really, to get original material.
Even up to recently, or things have changed through the years, I suspect, somewhat?
Improved somewhat. It's improved somewhat, but still people still say, you know, have a nice tune, I want you to sing over. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. Not that there's anything wrong with doing cover songs, because you can, you know, put a different flavor to it, but we write, so we want to push our original stuff and make our own footprints, not keep walking in somebody else's.
Clearly understood.
Now, JC, I'm learning a lot from you, and it's such an honor seeing you here.
And you have such lovely skin.
Thank you. I try, exfoliation. We gotta preserve it. But
it's probably just God given.
Thank you. But have you been paying attention to the space locally, in terms of the reggae music, especially in particular the women in our music? Any standouts? Any advice you can give to them?
I have been noticing them, because to me the women have been doing really well. They've caught my attention, and I'm not somebody that really listens to a lot of radio, but I have been, picking up on the young upcoming ladies, and I'm very impressed with them. It's much different from my time. They seem to be very together. They've got their look, they've got a sound, they write, and they're being allowed to do their original material. So I'm very impressed. What I am concerned about, though, is how they are, some of them are already making waves, but I know it's not easy to get the attention, to get that signing and so forth. It's that's where the difficulty is in getting your music to different people's ears. That's it, because that's the struggle I have. Even now, we're still, people say, "Well, you still sing?" I mean, I have not stopped singing, but it's just to get people to hear what you're putting out. That's where I find the problem. And people would think, "But then you have the whole internet, you have online, But yeah, your stuff is there on YouTube, but how do you direct people to it? That's where we're at.
DJ Roy, I know you have some similarities with JC and that England connection. Good morning again, sir.
Top of the morning, JC. Top of the morning.
Good morning.
We need more stuff from you. Let me start there.
So I'm doing this stuff. How do we get it to you?
And that's what I was going to touch on, because especially with the British movement, for some reason the songs are not coming across the pond. I'm very close to a lot of the producers over in Pickens and Stingray. But if not for them, I wouldn't get any songs coming from out of England. What can we do to keep that connection?
Well, we can certainly give you our details. and anybody else that I'm in touch with in the UK, I can pass on, their information, because, this is what we find. The people in the UK, we don't really have, it's hard for us to reach out to the other territories. It's like, I don't know if there's a slight block in some ways that people think that reggae, authentic reggae, is made in Jamaica. And I mean, when I lived here, we were here for 33 years, I kind of had that feeling. I think a little bit. I felt that this is the home of reggae, and this is where reggae should be coming from, But now I'm in the UK, I'm thinking differently. I'm thinking, no, but there are Jamaicans around the world making Jamaican music, and we want to keep that connection.
Indeed. I recently, probably 2 years ago, I got a song from Babyface.
Yeah.
On the Divorce Court Rhythm.
Yes.
That was a song that I thought could do well if it was, sent out to more radio personalities. Because I always say, as much as we have the internet, and a lot of the artists lean towards the internet, to me, there's nothing like driving in a car and hearing your song being played on the radio.
Of course. But I know that Lionface, who was the producer of that project, he worked very hard to push the whole EP.
Yeah.
He was constantly on it, and we managed to go #1 in New York on the New York chart. But yeah, it was a struggle, and it just did that. That was it. So still there are people who don't know of that song.
Yeah.
And that takes me to Love Uprising, which I was making the point that I haven't got my hands on a copy of it as yet.
Yeah.
And I usually get your stuff, but not this one in particular. But it's doing well, we understand also. What can you tell us about the song Love Uprising, which is your latest single?
Yeah, so Wayne Armand from Chalice, I bucked up on him last year at a show in Miami, and he told me he had a rhythm that he was putting a few artists on, select artists, and we could do with a woman, would you like to be part of the project? I said, of course. So that rhythm was Transfusion, and then they decided to put an EP together because I loved the rhythm, so it immediately inspired a song, and because it was such a driving rhythm, I didn't want to do a love song, a romantic love song, so it's a love song about world love, coming together and working together as a team and pulling each other up. So that's what this Love Uprising is all about. Yeah. And so the producer is Orville Marshall and Wayne Armand, the producers, and they released the EP, and that Love Uprising went up in the Miami charts to #1, and it's been there for 4 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
So, but again, it's #1 there, but it's not affecting elsewhere. It's like we're working in pockets.
Yeah,
so in this territory, it's doing this, but here, no, she's still a thing. She's alive. So it's how do we link all of this together? I don't know.
It's not difficult, and as you go along, you'll have to share details so that persons can, you can know how to find us, or more of us, so to speak. But congratulations on these successes. I don't know. It sounds like it could be a part of a larger project, and even the name "Love Uprising" sounds like it could be an album title. But are you working on other material towards a bigger project?
We're always working on something, but I don't know if we're necessarily going to be doing an album with my MM Productions. That's up to them. Mm-hmm. But we're always working on different projects. So I've got some things that we're working on with Jammy's son, John.
John, big producer.
In fact, just recently he released a duet with myself and Bearers. I don't know if you've heard that. So, and he's here. So, don't know what the issue would be there in getting that track out to people. I don't know if it's politics. I don't know. I just write, sing, and then we'll see what happens.
So you spoke about Jammy's son. How is your daughter? I had the pleasure of interviewing her some time ago. She had studied at one of the top schools in London. How is she doing?
She's doing very well at Cabaret. Sometimes she has 2 gigs a night, so she's working really hard, and she's living on her own, so she's trying to cover her expenses and so forth. So when we step in and say, "Look, this is great," we call her Gigi. This is great, Gigi, but what about your recording? You used to write songs and you were working out with musicians.
Fantastic vocalist,
and she had some really good originals. And I know I'm her parent, but I think I was being objective in saying that they were very good. But since she's focused on Cabaret and that side,
not as much as the recording is going on,
not happening. So when are you going to get back to
eventually
recording?
She'll get there.
Hopefully. But we're still proud of her.
Please give her my regards.
I will.
Yeah, man. All right, so JC, I think you're still performing, obviously, and I happen to see your name popping up on a show that I'll be a part of too.
Yeah.
That Mother's Day show with the Manhattans and Denise Williams and yourself.
I'm so honored to be in that company.
Yes.
Wow.
June Isaacs, big up yourself. What do you plan for the Jamaican audience when you get here for that show in May?
Well, I'll be giving them all their favorites by me and throwing in a few new ones and hoping that they won't be like this when I do the new stuff that they're not so familiar with, because I know what Jamaican audiences are like.
No, let me tell you something. People must be saying, I hope I don't have to work after JC, because when she drops them songs like Someone Loves You on it, I'm going to have to work that much harder. Yeah, but you have a lot of love here all through the years, and you'll see that on
yes,
that
I'll be looking for it.
I'm sure you will. Great seeing you. Are you big on social media? And if so, how can persons follow you and see what you're doing?
I need to improve in that area. I've been told by my daughter and Errol.
Yes.
And Errol does help me a lot on social media. But yes, so you can, if you just type J.C. Lodge into Google, you will get, and YouTube, you'll find my material there. And for Instagram, it's J.C. Lodge Official.
All right. Well, great seeing you. Congratulations again, and best regards. We're going to drop that song. But are we taking the break now, or Yeah, we're going to take the quick break. JC, great having you on the program.
Thank you so much.
And best wishes to you and your family, all right?
Thank you so much.
Errol, big up yourself across the glass once again, bro. Big up.